Pay attention. As you go through life, there's all kinds of lessons that are being served to you. The good ones, the bad ones, the really sad and disappointing ones, the ones of incredible triumph, but they're all lessons. More importantly, if you're really paying attention, what these things are actually doing for you is creating blueprints. When you have gone through something, and I'll take, for example, and share with you guys a talk that I gave to all of our athletes when I coached my final World Championships back in 2022 in Amsterdam. We had about 70 people that participated on Team USA. Very few of them ended up on podiums and won medals. I could count on one hand how many of those people won gold medals. So they got the actual ultimate goal. And then everybody else didn't end up on a podium. But there was a lesson for everyone, regardless of the result. And that is, they were able to transform themselves. They were able to go on a journey for 4 months from the moment they qualified for becoming part of this team to this end result, this new athlete, this new human being that got off the plane and landed in Europe. They were completely transformed. And it was because of all the work that they did. That work, that transformation, of evolving and becoming a better person, a better athlete, and again, in that very rare instance, a world champion or someone who actually medaled with a silver or bronze, they now have a blueprint for how to do this and replicate this in almost any aspect of their life. Now, for you as an individual, if you think about, if you've not had the privilege or honor or the fortunate luck of being able to compete for a national team, you've gone through other things in your life where maybe you transformed yourself. Perhaps it was getting in shape for something. It was losing weight for your wedding. It might have also been to prepare yourself for a huge promotion where you had to put in hours of work. It might have been going to med school or law school. And all the hours and dedication of sitting in a library on Friday nights and Saturday nights and missing out on all kinds of happy hours and fun times with your friends, where you've got to put in all this time into your craft to be able to pass one test in one moment to now get to the other side. That is a blueprint because you committed to something, you've done the work, and that can now be translated into other aspects of your life. Because look, life only gets more challenging as we get older, as we take on more responsibilities, as our life events continue to happen. We have families, we have children, we have bills, there's death in families. It only gets harder and more challenging. But the more blueprints that you can draw from, the more that you've stacked in your history, in the story of you, in your life, as you come around, and if you paid close attention and been able to mark those or journal them, you'll be able to draw on those experiences and find similarities to whatever challenge you're now facing in the present. So here's how you're gonna do it. And this comes in an era now that we all live in where we're all trying to be more mindful, where we're all trying to be more reflective, and there is immense power in it. So anyone who shits on or makes fun of those that are being mindful or who journal or who actually take time to reflect and meditate, they're the ones that are actually losing out. So here's what I do. I keep a journal, and every day when I wrap up my day, I talk about the wins that I had. But every now and again, there's a really big moment or something big that happened, and maybe it was good, maybe it was really bad, maybe it was a huge letdown, maybe I lost a major account, maybe I screwed something up royally with work that's going to cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars, or I achieved something and I moved the needle in someone's life and I feel so rewarded and fulfilled by it. Whatever it is that you go through, you want to document it, especially if it's something of major consequence or there was a massive impact that was either had or felt by you or on somebody else. And when you journal these things, you're creating your blueprint. You want to talk about what happened, what your role was in it, and what was ultimately the outcome. And is there something or was there something that could have been done differently? This type of checking in, number one, is a very healthy exercise for all of us as human beings to be doing daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, annually, because it's how we evolve. If we continue just going through life and never checking back in on what's actually happening or trying to learn from it, then you are merely just marching towards the end because time and energy is finite. So you need to maximize and make the most of these moments as they come up because they're happening all the time. It's just a matter of whether or not you pay attention. So once you've journaled these and you've documented them and you've created these blueprints and you've acknowledged what your role could have been in a way of being better, or if you did enough in those moments, you now have these stacked up, which are frames of reference that you are going to continually draw upon for the rest of your life. So I would create, if you have a regular journal or a planner where you document all of these wins, I would start to take the ones that are worthy of being a quote unquote blueprint and put those into another file. Maybe you keep them on a Google Drive, maybe you keep them on a certain sheet, maybe you keep them in your phone to where you can read these. Because when you're feeling low at any point in your life or you're having a reflective moment and maybe you don't have any wins to necessarily talk about, go back and look at all those other ones that you have. Go back and revisit those blueprints, because the inspiration that you'll draw from them is very powerful, of course. And it's noteworthy because it's something you actually went through. You achieved it, or you lost in it, you learned from it, whatever the case might be, it's something that you can certainly draw energy from. So blueprints are pivotal for me in my life. I'm keeping track of these things weekly, monthly, quarterly, all the time. In fact, I've got a huge Google document where I have blueprints that I've documented since I started doing this about 12 or 13 years ago. So I ask that you do the same for you, because I promise you this will have a major, major impact on your life and help give you strength and focus for all the challenges that lie ahead. Because again, the challenges and all of these difficult times are not a matter of if they're going to happen. It's simply a matter of when. And I've been able to take immense inspiration from it. So for anybody that has a blueprint that has been effective in their life, please share it in either the comments of the YouTube channel post here, or send me a DM and share it to me, because I'd love to hear about what your blueprints are and how they've impacted your life and how you continue to draw energy and inspiration from it.